as a people, look into our value system, because it starts from there. You turn the politicians into your ATM machines. Before they ask for your votes, it's like, oh, where's your structure? Where is your money? They become your ATM machines. Right now, most of them who won elections are abroad. They are not discussing with us here. They've gone to rest. They are tired. They are fagged out. And then we are now on the social media asking ourselves that we want good leadership. We want good leadership. Who is speaking for you on the table, and what is the person expecting from you at the end of the day? We must grow people. We must groom people. Yes, we need mentors. We don't need godfathers who capture a system. They politicize the entire system. They politicize civil society. They politicize the media. They politicize everything. And they capture the new parties that came on board. All the new parties that came on board were either standing for APC or PDP. And so I say right now, we have only a two-party system. So what were we even wasting our time for? So we're not growing our democracy if we don't sit back and tell ourselves the truth. We must tell ourselves the truth, that we must look at our value system. What is our expectation from the political class as a people? Why can't we engage and say to ourselves, we need leaders? Yes, we need leaders. And we sit down and say, what do you have to offer? What is your pedigree? And what is on the table? We had that chance this time around. What did we do with it? I'm afraid as a people, we squandered it. And it's very important, politicians must note that if you don't replicate yourself, if you don't mentor people and speak for people and make politics inclusive and heal our nation, you're going to keep being in politics till your old age, till you're frail. And even your children are not even going to benefit. So if we're going to have the not too young to rule bill make sense in our system, and if we're going to grow this democracy, we do need mentoring. We need sponsorship. And to be fair, we have quite a number of people who have built solid leaders. We have seen some states where we have incremental policy implementation because leadership has handed over to leadership. They might not be there, but there has been a conscious effort of easing out and putting others on the table in the front burner, and there's been results. So yes, you need somebody to speak for you on the table. You need to have our value system right, and you don't get in there and forget your values because there's a lot of peer pressure. People just speak about, it's a complete monetization of the system. And so because of the pressure, if you are not very sound with your principles, you cave in and you do anything to get money to get out there and to just grab what you want. But like the member of House said, your foundation is very important. And that's where as the macro has a lot to do with the micro. And so we should look at the way we are growing our children, the topics we have in school, the curricula, the values we put in society. When you have solid values in place, it becomes very difficult to actually sway you in the midst of whatever you're seeing. So that's my take on that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gloria Okolugbo. You made a number of points along, of course, with the other guests, bringing in the idea of political ATMs, you know, and godfather capture. Still on the issue of godfathers and indeed whether there is any tension between politics and decent people. I would like Professor Osumbo to also make a comment on this, but I'm asking this question, you know, out of tremendous respect for him. Professor Osumbo, of course, holds a first-class honors in law and a doctorate, of course, from Warwick. So you've been member of the Senate for 2 terms and also governor of Edo State. Can decent people be in politics in Nigeria? And then you have all the shenanigans and violence and thuggery and wanton loss of lives and destruction of property, including what we have seen in 2019, the burning down of INEC offices and card readers and so on and so forth, and the displacement of ballot papers and ballot boxes. Could this be the conduct of decent people in politics?
Well, the question, Kingsley, is there a space for decent people in politics? Should they be involved in politics? And without any hesitation, the answer is yes. Even for me, when I was going into politics, many people told me, oh, you are too quiet, you are too decent to be a politician. But I thank God that I have gone into politics and people see what I represent. People know my background. And to the glory of God, nothing negative has been associated with me as a person. And talking about mentoring, we need good people to mentor others. Because if decent people are not available, those who will be doing the mentoring will be the bad guys, replicating themselves and perpetuating evil, badness, deviant behavior in politics. And even religious bodies, even the church used to say, oh, decent people shouldn't go into politics. But there's a change. That attitude is changing. And even the church is encouraging people to go into politics, because if you do not, then the political space will be taken over and occupied by those you regard as dirty. Politics is dirty to the extent that it is dirty people that are involved in it. If clean and decent people are involved in politics, the more of their type that you have in politics, the cleaner and better and more decent our politics would be. And we will have many people mentoring people to be good, rather than a lot of deviant people mentoring people on deviancy. But just permit me to make this point. And I do hope that Abubakar will be able to mentor many people. Yeah, because he has been mentored. I think he's mentoring already. And I hope he's mentoring, even at home. He's mentoring his children at home. So,
but the daughter said nothing will change.
But the other point I want to make, really, which Abubakar mentioned, is about title. I think it's a matter of convention. We've adopted our presidential system, and everybody knows we adopted the US presidential system, and senators are referred to as distinguished senators, and honorable members are referred to as honorable in parliamentary systems. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing wrong with that. What I, however, find curious in Nigeria is those who say they are right honorable. I can understand honorable, but I quite honestly don't understand right honorable. Where did he write? Well, there's a story about... you have become a speaker of a parliament. By what rules?
By the rule they set for themselves.
Okay, they have set it for themselves.
But again, let me interject.
Just a minute. By convention...
Since it's interjected. So also, when you said the rule you set for yourself as a senator, you are distinguished, not the senator. Yes. You are supposed to be just senator, not distinguished. Yes. And then even in the parliamentary, even in the US where you borrow it, they call themselves congressmen, not honorable.
Yes.
And that is why in my name here, I always usually write rep, representative.
Well, I don't know. Well, I think it's a point that I probably will have time to examine someday. But to be honest with you, to our guests and to our viewers, the only right honorable that I knew growing up was Right Honorable Nnamdi Azikiwe, when he was Governor General. Between 1960 and 1963, when Nigeria became a republic. And when Nigeria became a republic on the 1st of October 1963, he dropped the Right Honorable and then became a president, that's ceremonial president. But now, if you don't call them, if the person has been a speaker for 2 days in the legislature, and you don't call him Right Honorable, it's as if, what kind of introduction is that?
Even if you go to National Assembly 3 or 4 times, you want to be called Right Honorable, even if you have not become a speaker.
Yes, they say once you've been elected at more than one occasion, you graduate from just being honorable to Right Honorable.
All right.
Let's now go to our tweets. We still have some tweets
okay,
here.
very quickly.
Yeah,
yes.
very quickly. Nice job, guys. Francis Jethro, I think the future is bright, but INEC needs to do much more to avoid these so-called conclusive elections. We should take a lead from advanced countries by now. Good morning, Nigerians.
Hello, Alphas here. Another tweet from him. It says the political class should be concerned about the many voided votes in the recent elections and decide to assist in sensitizing the electorate.
And Ibrahim Modu Aji tweets, the sad part of it is that the behavior of today's political class is giving breath to the upcoming youth's political revolution. We need to go back to the drawing board to reform our political ideologies.
And Innocent Aziz says, Rep. Abubakar Chika Adamu should be listened to. Now, these greetings should be expunged from our governance. People without maturity took these greetings with poor judgment and have been making themselves gods in office. So it's on that note, of course, that we would like to appreciate. I think we are virtually out of time now. We'd like to thank all our guests who've been with us today, and indeed all our guests who have been with us on this topic since Monday. We had it on Monday, had it again on Tuesday and today. So with us in the studios today, let's of course begin with our Ibadan Network Center studio, where we had Professor Remi Ayede, as Political Science Department at University of Ibadan. Thank you very much for your contributions to our discussion this morning. And from Lagos, Gloria Okologbo, a politician, a recent governorship candidate in Delta State. Thank you very much for being part of our discussion and for your contributions. And back here in the studios, appreciation to Professor Osareme Osumbo, two-time senator and former governor of Edo State. Thanks a lot for your insights.
My pleasure, Kingsley.
Also, Professor Abdullahi Shehu is Professor of Criminology, Anti-Money Laundering, and Election Observer in the 2019 tumultuous elections, and a recent author. He just published a book. He launched a book that was published recently. Professor Abdullahi Shehu, thanks a lot for always being with us on Good Morning Nigeria.
Okay. Elections in Nigeria, the long road to democracy. Very interesting reading. It was described as being controversial.
Okay. Abubakar Chika Adamu, member of the House of Reps from Niger State, representing Shiroro, Rafi, and Muya constituency. Thank you very much for your contributions to our discussion this morning.
I appreciate to be here.
Okay, all right. And just before we go, let's have this last-minute break.
Oh boy, climb this thing now. Not be only to connect lights. Come you and yourself now. Now wow. Oh boy, come down now. Oga Kasali electrician who would they look for with this? Oh, Oga Kasali, come help us fix this wire now.
Sorry, I no longer carry out illegal connection. It puts the lives of people at risk and can cause fire outbreak and disrupt power supply. I will never be part of anything that has to do with this any longer because change begins with me.
Oh boy, what you mean talk makes sense. Oh boy, we could carry this ladder from over.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
All right. I would like to thank you for being part of Good Morning Nigeria today. We're back tomorrow, same time, 7 o'clock in the morning. Until then, do enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Kingsley Osadolo.
And I'm Juma Yusuf. Thanks for watching. Do enjoy the rest of the day.